I'm Susan Steele. I am co-chair of the Early Childhood Leadership Commission, and my day job is working with the Buell Foundation. Many of you I know and work with on a regular basis, but it is wonderful to have you here this afternoon for this sort of very special occasion for early childhood. We want to thank particularly our host here. I think Jahan is here somewhere from the Colorado Health Foundation. Where is she? Thank you very much for letting us use your space. It's such a lovely room, and it just configures in several different ways, so it always seems to work for what we're trying to do. We also want to thank some legislative people that are intended to be here, our legislators. I hope that they'll be able to join us to hear some of these wonderful celebrations this afternoon. But on behalf of the ECLC, we are just thrilled to have this evening and to have many of our working partners here in the room with us. Many of you know, but the ECLC is a governor-appointed commission, and our job in the context of our framework is to advise the governor any way we can around early childhood. We also actually fulfill a national requirement as an Early Childhood Advisory Council, so we have some things we're supposed to do there. But in our job, we're here to advise the field, to advise the governor, to advise advocates. We really try very hard to be aware of and help align all the disparate parts of our world. We don't have it, as you all know, a simple, easy to map world. We have a very complicated world. And trying to make sure we're kind of all whirling in the same space and hopefully in the same direction is a really important thing to do. And we mean that across the framework, early learning, of course, absolutely across health and mental health, and absolutely across family support and engagement. So we're excited to be in that context and to help align that work, to help address access in that work, and to always be thinking about ensuring quality. Those are things we have to do to make sure that the work we do is effective and efficient. So that's clearly a goal of ours, and the reason we try to hear across the spectrum and try to ask questions about who knows who and how are we doing this all together. So I think that we want to let you know that after this evening at the end, there are a couple of reports that we want you to be sure to pick up. This whole function is part of our requirement to report annually on the work of the Early Childhood Leadership Commission. We need to report it to the governor, who I think is here, and also to the legislature in several committees to see what we're doing and how we're doing it and how we're going forward. We are excited to be able to show some great progress this year in the annual report that you'll see. Actually, we've had progress every year, but another year of great progress. And really with an emphasis in three areas: improving access to high quality care, as we talked about before, elevating the early childhood workforce and assisting them and supporting them, as we all know, a critical need for all the work that we're doing, and supporting family health and economic security. In that vein, we are aware of and looking at the way to monitor these and to look at some ways to measure success in this or to monitor success. We know that data and being data informed is really an important thing to do in our work. We lead with our hearts, but we better have some success there in the numbers too, to be able to show that what we're doing is really important and effective. The other report that you're going to see is the Colorado Shines Brighter Statewide Strategic Plan and Needs Assessment. This is a wonderful result of our initial preschool development grant, and highly Marianne and Lindsay and others on that team for sure. We're so excited about the renewal of that for 3 more years. Good job. We appreciate it. And so in that context of so many exciting things happening, I'm really excited to be able to introduce, that's kind of a funny word, but say hi to the governor for all of us. We all know him, but to thank him for his wonderful advocacy in this space and his early success with Full Day K, his ever-present support and advocacy for our work in early childhood. Nobody ever doubts for a minute that he is an advocate. At a funders luncheon the other day, he spent a lot of time talking about it, so I was very proud to be part of our community. Thank you very much. So in that context, we would like to give him a few minutes to speak to us and tell us whatever he thinks we need to know. Thank you.
Gina. It's great to see you, and again, thanks for all of your great advocacy. I think when we convened about a year ago, it was in a different building, I think, wasn't it? That's where it was. We were really on the threshold of really that fight for full-day kindergarten, right? And that was really the focus of the efforts. We talked, of course, about the benefits to early childhood that full-day kindergarten brings, including freeing up the e-care slots for others. Well, I'm proud to say that after a year, we have accomplished full-day kindergarten. And we have here from the CDE, there's who's here from the CDE. Thanks for their CDE's great work. They were also able to allocate all of those additional preschool slots out to the school districts to be funded. And kids today are really getting that benefit. There remains, of course, a lot to be done with quality early childhood education, both school-based, community-based, but really is this exceptional group that leads Colorado's efforts to coordinate all of the amazing work in this area that improves the lives of kids and our families, and frankly, of the future, which is so important for all of us. Just like full-day kindergarten, we know how important those birth through 5 years are, quality preschool. Even the students that are fortunate enough to have funding the Colorado Preschool Program, which is a national model, only 10 hours a week. Many studies show that you want to be able to offer, more like 15 to 20 hours quality. There are some doubling up of slots, and obviously in Denver, they're fortunate to have the Denver Preschool Program, which can stack with some of those as well, but other areas of the state they're not. It's also really about economic livelihood and saving families money. So when you look at the impact of kindergarten, it's also about so many families who now have $300 and $400 more a month to afford quality programming. It could be summer camps for their kids, could be starting a college savings account, other forms of enrichment or tutoring. Really, for most folks in Colorado, the costs have gone up, just struggling to make ends meet and meet rent or mortgage. That extra $300 or $400 a month is so important. I had talked to the parent in Jeffco, who's the parent of twins entering kindergarten, and they just brought it. They were going to try to find about $800 a month, but they just had no idea, and they were just so grateful that we have this preschool, really, from an economic empowerment perspective, also so important. Today, of course, we're very proud to be releasing the 2019 annual report of the Commission, really focused on 3 areas of opportunity: improving access to quality early care and education for all children, right? It's not just about the funding mechanism, it's about access. That was easier with kindergarten, it's provided, and really the school district stepped up and did a good job. With preschool and birth to 5, it's more complex in terms of the access piece. It's funding enough, should be hard enough. We're going to figure that out. We're hopeful that there'll be a ballot initiative this fall that will give us the opportunity to figure that out. But it's also about access. It's not just the funding. School districts are important providers, community providers, but there are deserts, there are lack of capital, there are areas without the quality professionals that we need to be able to provide the quality to. Elevating the early childhood workforce with career pathways and appropriate compensation. Again, it's making sure that we have the opportunity for people with the skills that they need. Data-driven science are able to have access to those degrees. And of course, supporting family health and economic security. And that tie to quality early childhood education is so important for that family health and economic security. For some kids, it means meals, it means healthy meals that they might not get at home. It could mean identification of issues that there might be at home, including abusive issues. It could be health issues that go unidentified in the home. It could be the simple economic security of a parent being able to work because of this, right? So a lot of really important economic security and family health situations. And this movement includes improving the quality of early childhood educators' skills and development, and helping children transition, of course, from the birth to 5 to preschool to the K-12 system, supporting infants and toddlers and families. And I'm particularly impressed with the involvement of our state agencies that are represented on the commission here today. We have an early childhood cabinet that we formed. It's all the different agencies working together around meeting the goals of making sure that Colorado can move from laggard to leader in birth to 5 to prepare our next generation for success. Many of my cabinet members from different agencies have at least one of their goals that we are publicly accountable for related to early childhood education. I think you're going to be having a panel of our agencies. I know Department of Human Services, and Department of Education, and Higher Education, and HICPUF, and Department of Public Health. So you're going to hear from a lot of different perspectives. So they all meet regularly in our early childhood cabinet because this is really an interagency effort. We don't want, we don't want the 4-year-olds and the 5-year-olds to have to worry about what group of adults is meeting with one another. We're going to take care of that. So there's not these artificial barriers from one agency to another. I also want to recognize a number of our commission members here today. Could all of our commission members raise their hands so we can give them a great appreciation for and of course, particularly thanks to our co-chairs for stepping up, Elza and Susan and Tom. Thank you for going above and beyond and helping to coordinate the effort. Now, meeting the challenge of high quality early childhood education, in addition to the policy aspects, does also take investment, of course, and that's why we're proposing in our budget significant expansions in early childhood education embedded into a number of different areas, but of course also seeking an expansion of the Colorado preschool program to serve 6,000 more kids. Even at that level, it only reaches about half of those eligible, right? So, of course, we'd love your help in advocating for that budget priority with the state legislature, with the JBC. It really is an important value that we as Coloradans have. It has a terrific return on investment, as you know, the statistics, and it really helps make a huge difference in the lives of some of our most at-risk families. I'm also excited to share the Colorado Shines Brighter statewide strategic plan, 5-year path for early childhood education in our state to make sure kids have a strong start to our lives. As you know, I think they just mentioned Colorado's recently awarded the preschool development grant funding for the next 3 years, which we're very excited about. Profound implication. These resources are a huge asset to our state and really partnered with the budget we've outlined, hopefully partnered with additional funding mechanisms, will make a real lifelong change for Coloradans to better prepare all of our students, regardless of geography or race or economic background, for success. I want to ask for your help tonight in making this investment. You here know the value of this investment. You should also know that it's important to spend our time advocating for that. And as we work to expand preschool, we need your help, and of course, in your personal communities where you're an opinion leader, your professional communities, depending on what you do professionally, to stand with us as we fight to increase access to high quality early childhood education, high quality childcare, make free preschool a reality for Colorado children. Together we can accomplish that. It's a bold vision for where our state should be and where our state will be. As we like to say, if Oklahoma can have free preschool, my goodness, we can get it right here in Colorado. Actually, our early childhood education advisor in our office, Scott Gerginski, is here. His wife was recently confirmed as the early childhood secretary in New Mexico. So the race is on. We're now in a fight with New Mexico to see who can do a better job for our kids, right? So you will see which member of the Gerginski household will have but we need your help to get there. If it was easy, it would have been done, right? Same with kindergarten. If it was easy, it would have been done. No one says this is easy. There's always competing priorities, but our children and our future should be our top priority, right? And we have a lot of needs in our state, but investing in kids and families is so important, and really all of the reasons that bring us here, all the analytical metrics, and of course for those of us who are parents, know firsthand the importance of these early childhood years. So thank you for all that you do, and we look forward to working with you to make this transformational change a reality here in Colorado. Thank you.
Well, Governor, thank you. We definitely appreciate your leadership and the leadership you've created across the state agencies and across your cabinet. We're very fortunate that there's such a focus on early childhood, and we've been the beneficiaries of that. So we're greatly appreciative. We're glad you could join us tonight. With that being said, we're actually going to bring up some of the state agency leaders that are here for a brief panel. Angie Paccioni, the Executive Director of Colorado Department of Higher Ed. Michelle Barnes, the Executive Director of Department of Human Services. Melissa Colston, the Associate Commissioner of Education at Colorado Department of Education. Jill Hunsaker Ryan, the Executive Director at Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. And I'm here representing HICPUB as the Deputy Executive Director. My name is Tom Massey. I think our Executive Director was going to be in and out. She was trying to juggle a couple of commitments. If you see her, Director Fitzgerald was going to be here too. With that, we're going to dive into the program. First, I guess we'll start with Director Ryan. If you would, what's the highlight from the work in your department in the area of early childhood that supports children and families?
Hi everyone, thanks Tom for having me, and before I answer that question, I just want to thank the ECLC and, oh, that's okay. Yeah, okay. Thanks again, thank you Tom, thanks to the ECLC. Before I answer that question that's agency specific about programming, I just really wanted to comment, and I know that my remarks will be no surprise to the people in this room, but investing in early childhood development and early childhood education just pays such dividends as a society. And in the public health field, our role is really to monitor the health of the population. And we look at all sorts of what we call health outcomes, and we look at them in all age groups, and it's everything from injury and chronic disease and communicable disease. And with these outcomes, we can see patterns. They tend to show up by economic status, but we know if we invest in early childhood development and education, that in the long run, kids' well-being and health just turns out better for life. So all the investments that we make are really worth it. CDPHE, I'll highlight a couple of programs. One, before kiddos are even born, is family planning. We get family planning dollars from the federal government. We send those out to community-based organizations, nonprofits, and local public health agencies. So women, regardless of ability to pay, can control their own reproductive health and their own fertility. And if they want to space their births for whatever reasons, including economic, then they can do that. And then the other program is WIC, our Women, Infants, and Children program. This is a really important program because it serves and supports women when they're prenatal, postpartum, and then with their children up to age 5, supports breastfeeding, nutritional counseling. It provides checks for nutritious food, provides some health screenings, and it's really a good support for these parents, whether they're first time or not. It does have an eligibility limit. It's up to 85% of the federal poverty level. And it's a program that we get the federal grants and then we push the money out. And we've been partnering across agencies, trying to make sure that we're enrolling all of the people that are eligible and really able to do that outreach. So with that, I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you. Melissa?
Well, thank you, Tom. So for the Department of Education, you know, it is hard, I think for any of us, it's really hard to say like what our one key highlight is. But what I would highlight is with the funding of full-day kindergarten, there were additional preschool slots that were freed up. Our staff did work incredibly hard with districts to try to ensure that all of those positions would be used to enable more students and more children to be served by the Colorado preschool program. And CPP has seen just sustained positive results for kids. And so when earlier Susan was mentioning the importance of having data, there's kind of 4 key outcomes that we continue to see every year for CPP kids. So first of all, we see that kindergartners who participated in CPP-funded programs have a lower identification rate of significant reading deficiencies. Even though this is a 10-hour-a-week program, we see a substantial or a notable change in those number of students identified. We also see that students who are funded through CPP have a lower rate of retention in other grades. So this costs less for districts because you don't have to retain a student who may not be academically ready to move forward or may not have had the social skills and supports through a high-quality preschool program. We also see that students who've been through CPP-funded programs have higher academic outcomes on our state assessments, and now we have enough longitudinal data to say that we also see higher rates of on-time graduation for CPP students who have been through CPP programming and compared to students who have similar risk factors. So that would probably be the one thing that I would say that we're really pleased with, and we're poised to move forward with the additional 6,000 slots that are being proposed.
Alright, so I'm Michelle Barnes, and I came to your event last year. It was my first week in the job, and walked away so excited, and it's nice to be back a year later, and I feel like I'm among my people and my friends, so. CDHS has been focused on a lot of things with early childhood, but I would summarize the one thing that's been our driving mantra this year is quality. We've been focusing on getting more quality early childhood for people across the state, not just in the Denver metro area, but in our rural communities. So it's quality, 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 and more quality. So that's been our priority. I had an opportunity today to sit down with the governor to talk about what our goals would be for CDHS next year, starting in July. And I came in with 10 ideas to see where his heart and his mind and his passion was. And he immediately went to early childhood, and it became an hour-long meeting on early childhood, and how the other 9 goals all support early childhood. So I'm going to be here a lot, and looking forward to engaging with you. You expect that we're going to continue with quality, but I think it's also important to say we're looking more strategic and saying, or quality is strategic. We're looking beyond that and saying, let's make sure every kid enters kindergarten ready to learn, which means quality preschool, it means the social determinants of health, it means early childhood mental health, and 8 other things that are now part of our efforts.
Yes, thank you, Angie Petroni, Department of Higher Education, and I learned recently that Colorado was selected as one of 6 state teams to participate in the National Association of Family, School, and Community Engagement Consortium. How many of you already knew that? Did you know that? Yeah, I didn't know that. That's why I have a team. The consortium is tasked with creating a framework for incorporating family, school, and community partnership into educator prep programs. And that falls under the Department of Higher Ed, and of course we share that with CDE. And so I think the work that we're trying to do in providing scholarships, we've asked for over $4 million in the budget to go toward scholarships for future educators, and that includes early childhood educators. We're partnering with DHS to do that as well, because some folks need that money up front. We also have loan forgiveness on the back end, so either way, we're going to help pay for this state to have more folks going into early childhood education at all different levels, both at the certificate level as well as for the associate's level or certificate level in community colleges. And so there's money there, there's plenty of money there, so please ask your community folks to apply for these scholarships. Not the loan forgiveness, we already have 2,000 applicants for 100 spots. Seriously. Yes. Okay. Did you hear that, Scott? Did you write that down? Okay. Yes. And that was only the first month that it was open. We still have 2 more weeks to accept applications. So we've already had about 2,000 in the first 3.5 weeks. So people need the support to help be that educator in the classroom. So that's one of the things that we're excited about.
Well, HIGPOF obviously has a focus on health. But one of the things I would like to reiterate is, I think Director Ryan summed it up best, and it's been our mantra for years, is the single best investment we make in this state are the dollars we put into early childhood. The return on investment is tremendous. I think it far surpasses any other dollars we spend in state government or federal dollars for that matter. So we'll continue to push for that. We cover in our biggest program, Health First Colorado, we cover a little in excess of 1,200,000 Coloradans in public insurance. We also have the Child's Health Plan Plus. So in Health First Colorado, we have about 162,000 kids. In the CHIP program, we're about 21,000 kids. You might not be aware, but we cover a little in excess of 45% of the births in Colorado on our insurance program. So we have a significant focus on healthy moms and healthy babies. It is a priority for us. We work for supporting new moms through nurse family partnerships. We work with moms struggling with addictive behaviors and special connections. And one of our key performance indicators with our Accountable Care Collaborative is prenatal visits and well child visits. So it's a strong focus for us. So we also are trying to continually promote children's dental, which we think pays dividends as well. So we have a lot in the health field, and we crosses over into early childhood. So with that, I'll pass it back down. The next question. What opportunities do you see in the future to partner with the Commission and other stakeholders to advance and support early childhood?
Great. Thanks for the question. Well, the governor mentioned that we all sit on the early childhood cabinet, and it gives us an opportunity to work across groups. And you know, I tell people all the time, I really feel like the governor understands the determinants of health and why funding kindergarten and why funding preschool is so important. And it's important enough that he pulled together this work group of all of us. So a few specific opportunities. We are working with Department of Human Services to advance the work of the Early Childhood Workforce 2020 plan. We provide professional development opportunities for early care and education partners related to child health, physical activity, and nutrition, and especially around the family, friends, and neighbors child care model. And then we also are partners with many of you on Colorado's Blueprint to End Hunger. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, also, where's Mary Ann Snyder? My partner, you're supposed to give me the signal, but yes, there we go, thank you. The signal was that I'm explaining why I'm here rather than Commissioner Katie Anthus. So Katie is at our annual CASE conference, which is all the Colorado Association of School Executives, and she's also speaking there. So she sends her regards and sent me to be here for you. So I think this is a really good question about how can we think about what are the opportunities that are before us. And I think what the governor said really spelled out what the opportunities are from an education perspective. There's with the plan to fund 4-year-old preschool for all Colorado children, and with the budget request right now for 6,000 additional slots. I think it's having us all think differently about how we work together. With the preschool development group and all of the work done on strategic planning, I think there's a great opportunity for more partnership than we've ever had in this space. Right now, 53% of participating districts in CPP contract some or all of their community-based programs, and of those, 28% contract out all of their CPP positions. With expansion of more positions for CPP, we found that this fall, it was a real challenge to very quickly absorb additional slots. We see a great potential right now having a longer runway for knowing that this could happen, to increase those partnerships, increase ways to make sure that all families are served through this opportunity. We also are really grateful for the opportunity through the commission to work closely across agencies to see how we can support families in this space. So I think that's one of the many areas that we see.
Thank you.
We've been talking with about. I see two really obvious places to align this year. One is the strategic plan that is riveting reading if you haven't read it. roadmap for us as a state, what we want to do on early childhood education. And I'd like to invite all of us to be really rigorous in terms of executing against that plan. That's one I'd like to work together. I think all of you have been involved in processes where you put a strategic plan together, and then 5 years later, you're like, oh, I think I need to update it. I'd like to see it different, that we're all focused on it and what we learned from that. And then the other thing I'd like to work on is the preschool development grant. The governor mentioned it, but only 20 states, and I'm sorry, Scott, New Mexico is not one of them. I'm kidding. Got a preschool development grant, and we got $33 million over 3 years. Funding and child level data and needs assessment, and so that's the other place I'd like to work with you guys on, because that is a gift. I don't know if you know how hard we all work to get $33 million from the legislature. We got this money to just do what we all know we need to do, which is plan, measure, and really understand what's happening child by child. So those are the 2 areas I'd like to work together on.
$33 million. I think we're just gonna take all of higher ed and just do early childhood. No more bachelor's degrees. So, wait, did I say that? Oh, I was just thinking it, I didn't know I said that, so one of the things that we were really excited about is we just had some articulation agreements between our 2-year institutions and our 4-year institutions, so that the students who are going into early childhood at the community college level, that those courses will transfer directly into a bachelor's for teacher education. Because right now, there isn't that articulation, and so they'll have to redo some courses, and we want to have that direct articulation. In addition, with our teaching cadet programs that are in our high schools, that early childhood would be also an option for them, because right now it really isn't. And so they can do special ed, they can do secondary and elementary, but not early childhood. So we want to add that to the possibilities for our high school kids who already know they want to go into education. And so we need to also know from you, what else do you need? So we've got scholarships on the front end, we've got loan forgiveness on the back end. We're making sure that the courses that they take, because we want the early childhood educators to be high quality. And so for some of them, it means that they can have a line of sight to that bachelor's degree so that they have the professional development. And so we want to make sure that that's there. So we also want to learn, what else do you feel like you need from the Department of Higher Education so that we can make those seamless transitions for folks so that they can earn more money? Because right now, we don't have a lot of folks who want to get a bachelor's because they're only getting perhaps minimum wage or a little bit more, so why invest if you're not going to be able to earn maximum earning potential to pay back a loan that you may have? And so we want to try to elevate the profession, and one of the ways to do that is to make sure that they're credentialed, and so we want those credentials to be valuable and there to be a real return on that investment. So we want to work with you to make that happen. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, again, from a health perspective, we're very proud of the fact that in Colorado we were an expansion state, and we did such an incredibly good job of the outreach and bringing in Coloradans to have be covered by public health insurance. The rate of uninsured kids in Colorado is less than 3%. The focus for us is making sure we don't see that change over time. So we want to make sure that we get all kids covered in Colorado. And not everything is insurance. We know that clean water, housing, quality child care, and a lot of things go into the social determinants of health that we again partner with our sister agencies on a regular basis. One of the programs we're very proud of is, and I'm going to have to read this one, a national initiative called Aligning Early Childhood in Medicaid. We're partnered with CDHS on this program to enhance alignment across Medicaid and state agencies responsible for early childhood programs with the goal of improving health and social income outcomes of low-income infants, young children, and families. This multi-state learning group, led by the Center for Healthcare Strategies, in partnership with the National Association of Medicaid Directors and 0 to 3, is bringing together Medicaid and state agencies responsible for a wide range of early childhood programs. So there's a lot going on in all of our environments. You can see that the partnership we have with state agencies, I think, is unprecedented. It's a tremendous thing for all of us to have all of our agencies work together so collaboratively and collegially. I think it's good for the kids of Colorado. Again, we thank all the directors for their great work. Thank you so much for coming today. We're going to turn it over. I'm very fortunate to have two great co-chairs. And I'm going to turn it over to Elsa for some closing remarks.
I have the easiest job, but I also have to hurry up because everybody's waiting for you to socialize and connect with us. I'm also Lynn. I am with the Denver Preschool Program, and I am reflecting on a year ago. And I know a year ago I didn't have these two fabulous co-chairs, and I was panicking because it was just Anna Jo and I. Anna Jo is not with us today because she's at a meeting, taking care of early childhood work. And I knew she was leaving a month after. So I was very worried at that point, but we also had you coming into office, and several of you, that was your first meeting in early childhood. So I want to say thank you. You have done amazing work, and you have figured it out. The world of early childhood is about partnerships, and we do a lot of partnerships. I also have to say thank you to our staff. They have been amazing. Both Amanda Pelletier and Christina Heil have been wonderful. And Christina, I have to say that everybody said you brought the perfect addition to this meeting, which is your beautiful son. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you to all of you, the commissioners, all the people in the early childhood community that have worked closely with us. We have had an amazing year in early childhood, and more is coming. So we will be knocking on your doors again, saying we need more work, we need some help, we need some support. And my job today is just to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the commissioners, thank you to my co-chairs. And please, we have some time for you to connect, enjoy, and celebrate the success that we have had in early childhood. Thank you.